R5 Rally Championship presented by First Citizens Barbados saw our competitors tackle the BRC Shakedown Stages Rally for the first point scoring round of the season. Two venues, a 3.9km stage from Lamberts to Pickerings, ran twice in the morning, alternating with two runs from a 3.2km Mount Brevitor to Sailor Gully stage. After lunch, crews tackled the reverse Pickerings to Lamberts stage 3 times, with Mount Brevitor to Sailor Gully running twice, but in the same direction. This was a drama-filled affair, with weather dominating the proceedings.
Coming off the back of a strong performance in round 2, Josh Reed was poised to be the front runner in this first point scoring round for the 2023 season. Speaking with Josh prior to the event, he seemed excited about the loop of stages and pleased with the conditions of the roads, but, like many others, was a bit uncertain how the grip levels would be, especially in the mixed conditions. The name of the game for Reed was keeping it clean and tidy while pushing to be with the sharper end of the R5 group. However, about 2/3 of the way through SS1, Reed would lose his brakes and him and navigator Mark Jordan would leave the road at the end of a high-speed section, plummeting into some overgrown bush, eventually coming to a stop. Fortunately, both Josh and Mark escaped uninjured. Josh commented later that it was one of the scariest moments he's had in his long rallying career and is a powerful reminder of just how dangerous motorsport can be. The team at Pro Auto Works would be evaluating the damages and determining next steps with the looming flagship event of the year, Rally Barbados, closing in. Britain's Rob Swan and Darren Garrett were keen to get going in this BRC Shakedown Rally. Rob was happy to have Darren sitting alongside, but did mention his concern around the mixed conditions before the rally started. With a few events under his belt in his newly acquired Skoda Fabia R5, he'd be focused on a big push from the green light on SS1, and, as we've seen from Rob in the past, he delivered. Going fastest overall in the rally on SS1, the 4km stage of Lamberts to Pickerings, Rob was able to snatch a 1.5 second lead over Stuart Maloney. Rob and Darren would keep the pressure on, going fastest among the R5s in SS2, but Rob's luck would sadly run out after passing through the flying finish where a puncture forced him to leave the road and collide with a telephone pole. Fortunately, Darren and Rob walked away with no major injuries, but the same could not be said for his Skoda Fabia R5.
Enter Andrew Malalou. Always a positive feature in the paddock, Andrew was fully confident going into this rally. The fast-flowing Lambert stage in particular has become one of his favourites on the calendar. The weather certainly had a major impact early in the day, with the majority of drivers unsure of the road conditions. Andrew commenting after SS1 that he was a little tentative, but the grip level was okay. P2 to P7 was separated by just 8 seconds after SS5, with Andrew fully in the mix for a good points haul. Andrew enjoyed the mixed road conditions and felt this event was now more about skill than bravery, and would try to continue his momentum into the afternoon loop. Andrew would lose time in the afternoon as the mixed road conditions started to get a little drier. Andrew would also hit the wall in SS8, bursting his tyre on the S-bend of the Orange Hill stage, causing him to lose a good chunk of time. Andrew would finish around P7 overall, scoring 7 points.
The only representative of the Turks and Caicos rally team in round 3, Paul Horton, with Michael Worm sitting alongside, was fired up to get going in his newly acquired Citroen C3 Rally 2. Having some solid stage kilometers under his belt already after competing in 3 events in the UK, Paul commented he was feeling settled, but the shakedown stages would still very much be an opportunity to learn the car on our local roads. Despite the challenging conditions, Paul would get off to a strong start, and by the end of SS3 would find himself sitting 5th amongst the R5s, locked in a tight battle with Jeffrey Panton and Andrew Malalou. With the rain persisting and Paul seemingly getting more confident in the challenging conditions, he would keep the pressure on and constantly set improved stage times. After the 9 stages, Paul managed to hold off Andrew Malalou and finish 6th overall, a positive start for the Turks driver and points in the bag at the end of round 3.
Maloney has never been one to shy away from a challenge, and after a short road test on Friday, where he made some suspension setup changes in his Skoda, he was confident going into the rally. Then, the rain came down hard on SS1. Mark, after a long time out from rallying, hadn't experienced mixed road conditions like this, and coupled with the fact that his wipers stopped working on SS1, his work was certainly cut out for him. Mark would trade times with Paul Horton, Malalou and Jeffrey Panton in the morning loop, but never felt comfortable in the car. The lunch break seemed to do him wonders, however. Mark would come out hot in the afternoon, and with the road conditions getting a little better, was able to find some grip, going P3 on SS6 and 7, then a fantastic stage run on SS8, putting in the second fastest time with a 1:54.04. This resurgence in pace would allow Mark to finish P5 in the standings and take home 11 points. Racetrack and rally stage, newcomer Kyle Gregg from Jamaica was entering his first rally in his brand new Ford Fiesta Rally 2. Kyle's strategy was to get seat time and bring the car home in one piece, so expectations were certainly measured. However, his nickname of Speedy Greg was on full show, with Kyle driving extremely clean on the rough and mixed conditions. At the end of SS3, Kyle was running in a quite astonishing second place. Kyle did comment after SS3 he was losing around a second on launches, with the car bogging down and not engaging quickly.
I had a problem with the launch, the car's bogging down, so I'm losing about a second and a half on each launch. But other than that, kept it clean, haven't had any spills or thrills or anything, just watching what's going on in front of me and just keep it on the road. It looks like times are pretty close, so I don't want to say I want to push, but I might have to give it a try.
Kyle Gregg was then locked into an incredible podium battle with Roger Hill and Jeffrey Panton for the afternoon. Kyle was trading tenths with Hill over the next 3 stages, placing in P3 after SS8, just 0.23 of a second behind Hill. SS9 would be Kyle's undoing, as both Panton and Hill put in blistering times, relegating Kyle to P4 overall and just 0.66 from the podium. What a debut from the Jamaican. Plenty more to come from Kyle as the season progresses.
Jamaica's Jeffrey Panton was a mixed bag of emotions coming into the first point scoring round for the R5 Rally Championship. Commenting prior to the event's start that a testing session held earlier in the week helped boost his confidence, as he was able to explore the limits of the car and add a few more stage kilometers under his belt in his newly acquired Skoda Fabia Rally 2.
We did a test with all the R5s last week Friday, and the car felt good on the road. You know, there was good grip levels and stuff, and we were able to explore the limits of the car. So hopefully with that in these stages, we're pretty quick. So that.
After getting off to a cautious start and dropping about 7 seconds to Stuart Maloney after the first 2 stages, Jeff's confidence in the tricky conditions would slowly start to build. By the end of stage 5, Jeff would claw his way back up the leaderboard and engage in what would be a great battle with R5 Rally Championship newcomer and fellow Jamaican Kyle Gregg. Heading into the final stage, Jeff was about 4.5 seconds behind Gregg and knew that a big push was needed if he was going to claim that 3rd spot on the podium. A risky tyre choice of slicks and a massive push from Jeff would pay dividends, as the Jamaican went fastest overall in the final stage by just about 2 seconds over Stuart Maloney, but critically 6 seconds faster than Gregg. And with that, Jeff would secure 3rd overall for the event and earn himself 15 championship points, as we look forward to King of the Hill and Rally Barbados.
The growth of Roger Hill and his Skoda Fabia R5 over the years has been a story in itself. Mr. Consistent showed some true focus in the morning stages. However, he started SS1 tentatively with the 4th fastest time, but did grow into the rainy conditions and took advantage of some early retirements. Roger's main issue was under braking in the slippery, muddy conditions, but by SS3, he was trading times in the battle with Kyle Gregg, which would last all day.
It went reasonably okay, but we were very tentative in the first stage, made a couple errors, and even in the second stage that we did the Sailor Gully, again, just the downhill braking in wet. It's been good. We don't get this opportunity that often to drive in wet. That's why, if it rains, just let it rain the whole day.
Yeah.
I would prefer that instead of going wet to dry, or whatever. We don't know what the conditions are going to bring up there. It looks a bit dark now again. So we don't know. We'll see. Play one stage at a time, guys.
Roger would be faster than Kyle on SS5, 7 and 8, but by only mere tenths, setting up a grand finale on SS9. Roger chose to use the intermediate tyres on SS9 where some had chosen to go on slicks. This conservative approach paid dividends for Roger as he put in the third fastest time and cemented his second place for the event. P2 overall, a fantastic drive, and 17 points bagged for the Barbadian.
Defending R5 Rally champion Stuart Maloney was on a mission from the first green light at the BRC Shakedown Stages. Stuart commented that his goal was to be fastest on all 9 stages, but knew that the conditions would be tricky and would have to feel out the grip levels as the day progressed.
Obviously out there is going to be slippery on the first pass, so all within reason. So where I feel comfortable, I'll be as fast as I feel comfortable. Car feels good. We did some setup last week with it on Friday and made some changes. The car feels good. Cars always feel good. The biggest variable sits behind the steering wheel. It's all on the day.
The defending champ would get off to a strong start, giving himself a comfortable 5-second lead over Jamaica's Kyle Gregg at the end of the first 3 stages. As we've always seen from Stuart, his outright pace and consistency would continue throughout the rally as he went fastest on stages 5, 6, 7 and 8, losing stage 9 to Jeffrey Panton. But by that time, it would make no difference and Stuart would bring home maximum points for the championship and the rally win with a comfortable 15-second lead over Roger Hill. Stuart is laying an early foundation for a repeat championship win, but the season is long and motorsport is filled with the highest highs and lowest lows. Time will tell how Maloney's year will go, but if round 3 is a sign of things to come, you can be certain that Stuart won't be going down without a fight. Up next for the R5 Rally Championship, presented by First Citizens Bank, is round 4, which goes down at the First Citizens King of the Hill, the seeding event for Rally Barbados. Rally fans can stay locked in for the action, which goes down on June 4th on the 4.1 kilometre stage from Palmers to Colleton, a stage rally fans haven't seen since BRC Winter Rally 2020. You can rest assured that round 4 will be packed with action and incredible battles. Be sure to follow the R5 Rally Championship for more updates. We'll see you on the road.